The NBA is absolutely heating up right now. What started as whispers has erupted into an all-out feud, and Michael Jordan just dropped a shocking revelation that no one could have predicted.
Was feared by legends, and the other one, well, I don't have much to say about it.
The NBA is on fire right now and things just got personal. What started as harmless chatter has turned into a full-on controversy after Michael Jordan dropped a statement that shook the basketball world. MJ hinted that Larry Bird was a better player than LeBron James will ever be. And yes, the GOAT himself said it.so today, we're breaking down exactly what Jordan meant, from the plays and stats that highlight Bird's dominance to the mindset that set him apart. But that's just the start. Because once you hear what MJ revealed about Bird's injuries and how LeBron fits into the story, you might start questioning everything you thought you knew about the NBA. See, when the most competitive man in sports admits he truly feared one player, that's not just respect, that's reality. When Michael Jordan said Bird was better, he wasn't talking about flash or fame. He was talking about grit, pain, and sacrifice, things LeBron James has never had to endure in quite the same way. Jordan watched Bird push through injuries that would sideline most stars today. No load management, no excuses, no sympathy. Bird showed up every single night, regardless of how broken his body felt. Meanwhile, LeBron plays in a league designed to protect its stars, where entertainment often takes priority over pure competition. Bird wasn't chasing cameras or viral moments, he was chasing wins. And that's the kind of difference you can't fake. When MJ recognizes that, the debate almost settles itself. But before we close the book on this, you've got to understand why Jordan feels that way. Because comparing Bird's NBA to LeBron's is like comparing a street brawl to a light sparring session. The 80s were brutal, elbows, forearms, and hard fouls were just part of the game. Every trip to the rim meant you were risking a hit. Nobody talked about rest days or load management. If you could walk, you played, and Bird didn't just survive in that environment, he owned it. Despite back injuries that would have ended most careers, he'd still walk onto the court and drop 30 like it was nothing. That wasn't just toughness, that was obsession. Now fast forward to today's league, a place built for highlight reels, sponsorships, and extended careers. Players are protected by rules that would have made 80s legends laugh. Even Shaq admitted it. The modern NBA isn't built the same.
Because we have been away, we have shifted away from physicality and shifted away from all that.
The modern NBA? Let's be honest, it's more entertainment than battleground now. And in that setup, LeBron James fits perfectly. His greatness makes total sense in this version of the game, polished, protected, and powered by modern science. From recovery tech to training programs, LeBron's had every advantage the modern era can offer. But if you dropped him into Larry Bird's world, where defenders could practically body slam you at half court, this comparison wouldn't even exist. Back then you couldn't just rely on speed or brute strength. That's the world Bird dominated. Larry wasn't the most athletic guy on the floor, but he didn't need to be. He was the smartest, most relentless player out there. 9 times out of 10, that was all it took to break you down. And the refs? They weren't protecting stars. If anything, being a star made you a target. Guys went after you just to see if you'd fold. Meanwhile, LeBron grew up in a league that crowns its stars before they've even proven themselves. That's what people forget. The 80s created legends. Today's game manufactures superstars. Bird didn't need hype reels, highlight edits, or super teams. He didn't care about cameras. All he needed was a ball, a will, and someone to beat. And what makes Bird's story even crazier is how it began. He didn't come from a big-time program or a fancy basketball pipeline. He came from a tiny town in Indiana, French Lick, a place with more cornfields than people. He worked construction jobs, grinded through the small-town grind, and somehow became the heartbeat of the Boston Celtics. Before the fear, before the trash talk, there was the work. Look at his resume, it's unreal. 3 MVPs, 3 NBA titles, 2 Finals MVPs, 12 All-Star selections, Rookie of the Year. But the story behind those numbers is what makes it legendary. Nothing was handed to Bird. There was no chosen one label, no cameras following him since high school. He was just a kid chasing something bigger than himself, and he fought for every inch of it. Then came Indiana State. Not Duke, not UNC, Indiana State. Nobody expected them to reach a championship game. But Bird dragged that squad all the way to the 1979 NCAA Final against Magic Johnson and Michigan State, the most watched college basketball game of all time. That showdown didn't just end an era, it started one. The Bird-Magic rivalry defined basketball for the next decade and beyond. And when Bird landed in Boston, everything changed overnight. The Celtics went from washed up to winning again. In his rookie season alone, the team's record improved by 32 wins. Everyone could feel it, something different had arrived. At first, players respected Bird's IQ and fundamentals. Then they started fearing him. What? Because he could call his shots, literally. Bird would tell you how and where he beat you, then do it exactly like he said. People call LeBron dominant, and sure he is, but dominance in a soft league doesn't hit the same as dominance earned in an era built on pain and pride. Bird didn't have LeBron's body, but he had vision, timing, and a basketball mind that played chess while everyone else played checkers. You couldn't speed him up and you couldn't get in his head, because he was already living rent-free in yours. Even Michael Jordan admitted it. Bird was one of the only players who truly scared him. Let that sink in. Jordan, the ultimate competitor. Bird wasn't chasing stats or headlines. He was chasing rings. And he got them the hard way, through Magic, Kareem, Dr. J, and Isaiah Thomas. Every playoff series was war, and Bird was always in the middle of it, bleeding, barking, and still hitting jumpers you never saw coming. The craziest part? His entire career lasted just 13 seasons. That's it. Yet in that short time he reshaped the DNA of the NBA. LeBron's resume might be longer, but Bird's burned hotter. By the mid-80s, the league already knew the truth. You didn't just play Larry Bird. You survived him. His stats tell one story, but the respect from legends tells another. Because it's one thing for fans to praise you, it's another when your rivals admit they feared you. And that's what separates Bird. Even Magic Johnson, his ultimate rival, said it best. Magic and Bird weren't just competitors, they were basketball's Ali and Frazier. Every time they faced off, the world stopped watching everything else. Their rivalry didn't just define the NBA, it saved it. But between the two, when the lights dimmed and the trash talk faded, everyone knew Larry Bird was the colder killer.
Bird was just slicing and dicing them. And I said, oh, I called home. I said, it's true about this boy.
Gary Payton, one of the greatest trash talkers the game has ever known, still says Larry Bird was on another level. According to Payton, Bird wasn't talking just to hype himself up. He was talking because he knew what was about to happen. He'd walk up to you, tell you exactly how he was going to score, and then do it right in your face. No hesitation, no mercy. Years later, on the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, Payton straight up admitted that Bird was the most dangerous talker in NBA history.
Coldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man.
And the wild part? That was old man Larry, not even peak Bird. He was 34, his back was shot, and he was nearing the end of his career by the time Gary Payton even stepped into the league. That kind of respect doesn't come from flashy highlights, it comes from fear. And it wasn't just guards or wings who felt it. Even Shawn Kemp, a rookie at the time, learned that lesson fast. Kemp once recalled how Bird gave him that cold, knowing stare, the kind that said, "You're not ready for this." Then Bird went out and proved it, one bucket at a time.
He know from the start of the game what he was gonna do. He really did. He let me know. For the game, he told me, he was like, he just shook his head at me. He said, "Man, it's gonna be up night for you."
So what did he put up?
I think he gave me 40.
Kemp said that moment completely changed the way he approached the game from then on. But if you think that's wild, wait till you hear this. There was a game where rookie Dennis Rodman was assigned to guard Larry Bird, and Bird spent the entire time shouting at Rodman's coach, demanding he send someone who could actually stop him. And the closer Rodman tried to stick, the louder Bird got, talking trash the whole way through about how unguarded he was all night. Even Kobe Bryant, one of the most obsessive students of the game ever, studied Bird's every move. Kobe admired skill, IQ, and killer mentality, and he said Bird had all three. The footwork, the angles, the timing. Everything was calculated, and everything hurt.
I would always ask questions and try to learn as much as I could.
Bird was never the fastest or the strongest, but he was always a step ahead. And when someone like Kobe Bryant, a perfectionist obsessed with every detail of the game, recognizes that, it means something. But it doesn't stop there. Ask Reggie Miller, John Sally, or Gilbert Arenas. When they were asked to choose between Larry Bird and LeBron James, every single one of them picked Bird. That's not nostalgia talking. That's respect from players who know what real basketball greatness looks like.
Larry Bird at his best, LeBron James at his best.
Oh, I gotta go with Larry Joe.
I'm going to give you Larry Bird in his prime or LeBron in his prime.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird would probably beat LeBron 1-on-1.
Across generations, one thing stays the same. Every player who faced Larry Bird feared him. His reputation didn't fade with time. It only grew. Now stack that up against LeBron. Nobody's denying his greatness. He's an all-time talent. But you rarely hear legends talk about fearing him or even respecting him the same way. Instead of letting his game speak for itself, LeBron has spent much of his career telling people he's the GOAT, trying to convince the world while Bird never had to say a word. His presence said it all.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For so many reasons.
And that's the real difference. LeBron's dominance is loud, polished, and perfectly packaged for the spotlight. Bird's dominance was quiet, personal, the kind that stayed with you long after the game ended. So when the true greats talk about fear and respect, one name always comes up first, and it's not LeBron's. Let's be real for a second and drop the polite comparisons. LeBron isn't even close to prime Larry Bird. It's just that simple. People love to describe Bird with words like clutch, tough, and old school, but even those fall short. Bird didn't just rise to the occasion. He created the occasion. And if you need proof, rewind the clock to May 22, 1988, Game 7.
Watching from the sideline, Bird is open. Do they want him to take that shot?
Celtics vs. Hawks, Game 7, 1988. This was Larry Bird in full villain mode. Dominique Wilkins was unstoppable that night, dropping 47 points and doing everything he could to carry Atlanta across the finish line. It turned into a two-man war, Bird and Wilkins trading haymakers for nearly 48 minutes. But when the fourth quarter came, Bird went absolutely nuclear. He scored 20 points in the final 12 minutes, mid-range jumpers, off-balance floaters, and even a cold-blooded three right in Wilkins's face. Final score: Celtics 118, Hawks 116. That night was a masterclass in killer instinct. But if you really want to see Bird at his absolute peak, rewind 2 years earlier, 1986, NBA Finals, Game 6 against Houston. In Boston's clinching game, Bird dropped 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists, a triple-double to close out the series and secure his third championship. That Celtics team won 67 games that season, and Bird was the engine behind every one of them. And of course, you can't talk about Bird's legend without mentioning the three-point contest trilogy. From 1986 to 1988, he won all three, and he did it with pure swagger. Before his first contest, Bird walked into the locker room, scanned the competition, and said, "All right, which one of you is coming in second?" Then he walked out like it was already over. He didn't even take off his warm-up jacket for the final round. On the last rack, he released the money ball, raised his finger in the air before it even dropped, and walked off as the crowd lost its mind. That wasn't confidence. That was Larry Bird letting everyone know he already owned the moment.
Walk around. You might do a little something. Nah, you ain't got. Nah, you shot yourself out in warm up. Talking about Leon Wood, he said, "Nah, you shot yourself out."
And that's the thing about Larry Bird. His biggest moments weren't random bursts of greatness. They were patterns. Every elimination game, every time the Celtics season hung in the balance, Bird's numbers went up. Across his playoff career, he averaged 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists in elimination games. That's not luck, that's legacy. Take the 1981 NBA Finals run, for example. Bird was only in his second season, and the Celtics were down 3-1 to the Sixers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Most young stars would have folded under that pressure. Bird didn't. He led a comeback that forced a Game 7, took the series, and then went on to beat Houston for the title. During that entire stretch, he was flirting with a triple-double every night. And then there's the 1985 game against the Trail Blazers, one of the most iconic flexes in basketball history. Bird walked in and told reporters he was bored of playing right-handed. So he played the entire game left-handed, just to challenge himself. The result? 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists. That wasn't arrogance. That was Bird showing the league he could beat you however he wanted, whenever he wanted. He finished that game with 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists, leading the Celtics to an overtime win. When a reporter asked him why he decided to play left-handed, Bird just smirked and said, "I was saving my right hand for the Lakers." That's Larry Bird in a nutshell. Fearless, competitive, and just built different. Every era produces stars, but not every era produces a Larry Bird. And when you look back now, the evidence is undeniable. The plays, the stats, the moments, they're all proof that Bird wasn't just great. He was different. Now let's stack Bird and LeBron side by side. Not the hype, not the highlight reels, but the numbers that actually matter. Start with rebounding. Bird averaged 10 boards per game, nearly 3 more than LeBron's career average. And he did that in an era loaded with giants like Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Robert Parrish, and Charles Barkley. At the free throw line? It's not even close. Bird was an 88.6% career shooter. LeBron hovers around 73%. And then there's the three-point contest. Bird entered 3 times and won all 3. LeBron's been in the league for over 20 years and has never even stepped up to test himself in one. Think about that. The most hyped player of a generation never entered the one competition that defines modern basketball. As for shooting efficiency, Bird was almost a 50-40-90 player before that stat even existed. 49.6% from the field, 37.6% from deep, and nearly 90% from the line. LeBron's career shooting numbers are solid, but Bird's consistency, especially under pressure, sets him apart. And when it comes to being clutch, Bird's playoff stats tell the story. Per 36 minutes, he averaged 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Production that came from basketball IQ, not stat chasing. Bird didn't force triple-doubles. They just happened. He had 59 of them in his career. Many coming in elimination games or the finals. So yeah, LeBron's played longer. He stacked up totals. But longevity doesn't equal legacy. Bird's greatness was concentrated, pure, efficient, and terrifyingly effective. Even Michael Jordan himself had to admit it. There was something about Larry Bird that no one else, not even LeBron, could replicate.
He was that type of player that didn't care about fame. He gave his all, even when he was injured, and that's something this other guy never did.
People called it a cash grab, and honestly, yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. But that's become the theme with LeBron. Everything has to be a moment, a production, a brand extension. And speaking of branding, let's talk about Bronny. Let's be real, the only reason that kid is in the NBA right now is because of his last name. There are players out there grinding in overseas leagues in forgotten gyms, or stuck in G League rotations who are far more deserving of that Lakers roster spot. But when your dad's LeBron James, doors just magically open. That's what the NBA has turned into under LeBron's influence. A league where connections sometimes matter more than competition. And just when you think it couldn't get messier, social media starts buzzing. Earlier this year, DJ Academics dropped a bombshell claiming LeBron was cheating on his wife, Savannah. True or not, the point is this: LeBron's name stays in the headlines for everything except basketball. It's always drama, always noise, always something pulling focus away from the game itself. Larry Bird? He had none of that. No tabloids, no Instagram followers, no PR spin team. Just hardwood, sweat, and silence. That's what greatness used to look like. No filters, no fluff, just results. Because greatness isn't just about rings or highlight reels. It's about integrity, focus, and the way you elevate the sport itself. And Bird checked every single box. Meanwhile, LeBron's career feels like 2 decades of basketball mixed with marketing campaigns, social media storylines, and off-court distractions. Sure, he's accomplished a lot, but at what cost? When you strip away the branding, what's left? And here come the LeBron defenders. Yeah, but he's been dominating for 20 years. Okay, fair. Longevity deserves credit. But let's be honest, staying in the league longer doesn't automatically make you more respected or feared. It just gives you more time to rack up stats. True legends don't need 2 decades to make their mark. Bird proved that in 13 seasons flat. And then there's the scoring debate. Yeah, LeBron's numbers look insane on paper. But context matters. Today's NBA is faster, looser, and built for offense. 3-pointers fly like confetti, and the refs treat stars like they're made of glass. Of course, the numbers are inflated. Bird's era? Different story. Every point came with a bruise. The game was physical, ruthless, and real. Give Bird the same 20-year career in today's league, with this pace, this spacing, and this freedom, and you're telling me he wouldn't break records? Come on. Because in the end, greatness isn't about who lasted longer. It's about who defined their era. Who commanded fear, respect, and silence from their opponents. Bird did that in 13 years. LeBron's been chasing that same aura for 20, and somehow, it still feels out of reach. So yeah, LeBron fans will always have stats and highlight clips. But when it comes to the intangibles, composure, toughness, and that unshakable killer instinct, Bird still stands taller.